Come on in. Hey, oh, you're not.
So, this is where the magic happens.
Ah, no, this studio will never do. Way too small. Our boys can't get interviewed in such a hole. We figured when you paid the hefty booking fee that you could also afford a professional studio befitting the talent that we, represent.
Booking fee? I didn't pay a fee. I just emailed the guys and asked them if they would come on the show.
No fee? Well, hello, we have another issue now.
Yeah, this interview can't happen without the fee. That's just business 101, ain't it?
Yeah, let's have you pay that fee, okay?
I don't have much. What are we even talking about here? What's the fee?
Well, there's the fee, but it seems we are crunched for time and we need to add on the late fee.
Which is?
Hank, how much is gold cap these days?
Gold cap? Are you insane? You can't possibly be serious.
All that peace, love, and democracy stuff only works in Undermine. Yeah, this is the gritty world of broadcasting. The real world.
Hey, get your hands off me.
Give us the money.
Ow!
You jumped on me!
What does that sound? Is that Gallywix coming?
What? That's not possible.
I'm reloading!
Oh, he sounds pissed. Didn't you guys help out with that Undermine raid?
Hank, let's get out of here. This is not over, Mr. Solo Q.
Welcome to How to Use Solo, a Solo Q bonus episode where I interview people from across the Warcraft community. Thanks for joining me. My name is Dave Gagne. We might have to talk quickly. Those goblins will probably be back and in greater numbers. Welcome to Solo Q episode 33. While those goblins are kind of regrouping and I have thrown them off the trail for a minute, I do have the co-hosts of Azeroth Morning Radio in the green room, ready to come on the show. They are going through their strict regimen of vocal warm-ups, so we have a couple minutes to get to a couple random news, things, and updates before I bring them in.
You bring news?
What news from the mainland?
Have you any news?
Hopefully you had a chance to listen to episode 32. I was very, very pleased with how that came out. I got some really great feedback from a lot of listeners. Feedback especially about the profile of my Uncle Norm. A lot of people appreciative that I shared that story. Some people had some similar experiences, and really, honestly, it was more feedback than I anticipated. As I mentioned at some point in the last two episodes, I kind of did this focus on my WoW family a little bit more for me than for you, especially the part about my uncle. And I'm really glad it resonated. You know, there's so much universal stuff in Warcraft, and if you connected with that, that's my uncle would be happy. I'm happy. So thank you, and thank you to all of you who let me know what you thought of the episode. That's very thoughtful. I appreciate it very much. And really, in case you didn't get to the end of the episode, a huge thank you to my Aunt Connie, who I only mentioned by name after kind of towards the end of the episode and the thank yous, but a huge thank you to her for not only sharing, obviously, my uncle's WoW account with me, but sharing her stories and her emotions and just kind of filling in some holes in the things that I didn't know. And it turns out in the end, I did this profile of him as much for her as it was for me. And that was really special to be able to do. So thank you all. Very much appreciate it. One little technical note, and things like this are always funny to me. I noticed when I first pumped out the episode, I'd done some last minute fixes, and in doing so, I had turned one thing off that I should have turned back on, and the episode went out without the intro music and the outro music. So everything done by my friends in the doom metal band Ogre, their two songs would have been missing. And podcasts are funny because you can put out another. As soon as I found it, I immediately ran upstairs, like literally ran upstairs, hopped in, figured out what was wrong, re-exported everything, and uploaded a new version to the 3 places I have to upload. And it's always interesting to me how quickly that gets out, how slowly it gets out, and does it replace the file that you already have? I know by the time I sent it out, there were already at least 60 downloads. So if you listen to the episode and you were missing audio, that is why. And yeah, it's just, I don't know. If you have a mind to shoot me a message as to if you didn't hear it and how quickly, I don't know. It's just sheer curiosity on my part. And hey, sorry that wasn't there. Okay, as I mentioned, we'll do a couple little news things here, and then we'll bring the guys in for the interview. Hey, 11.2.7 is out there in the wild, as you'll hear a little bit in the interview. We actually talked on patch day, and so this is obviously a few days later. I haven't not done much in the new content, but the one thing I did hop in to do probably the lamest of all the things that did come out, and that was time walking dungeons. I said, okay, why don't I grab a character I can level? I'll grab one of my level 70s. I'll grab a druid who I really like, who's not 80, and okay, we'll see how this goes. And over the course of 5 weeks, I'll do a bunch of dungeons. The way that always works is you do the 4 dungeons, you get a certain buff. If you hop out of that character, because the buff is like 3 hours, if you hop out, don't use the character, the buff doesn't go away, you hop in the next week, you do 1 just to re-buff, you do that for 5 weeks, boom. You got the reward at the end, which this time is choosing one of the mounts that are available, and then after you get the reward mount, you can buy the others for time walking badges. So I did that, and it was very apparent very quickly that the changes to the leveling amounts from 70 to 80 are huge changes. And I don't want to be grumpy old man about this, but I don't like it. Yeah, I didn't like it. So I started doing dungeons and very quickly went from 70 to 71, then 72, etc. By the time I was in my 4th time walking dungeon, I was level 80. I hadn't even gotten to the end of, hey, I should do the 4 dungeons, never mind the 5 dungeons for the quest, but the 4 dungeons, I was already 80. And in fact, hopping in there, the leveling sound, you heard it almost like popcorn. Between the 5 of us, man, someone was leveling every, second or third mob pull. It was crazy. And I feel like, I hate to say this, and some people are going to be like, dude, shut up. It's overtuned. It's too quick. I know they're trying to get people to end game quicker and get people geared up and get people, not literally geared up, because that doesn't gear you up at all, but get people ready to go for the next thing. The next thing is still months away. And so, I don't know. I mean, they're not, I don't think they should change it. They put it in, whatever, let people have fun. But here I am not doing anniversary trivia because for me, this is not criticism. For me, it's finally like, no, it's too much. I want to play the game. Here I am playing the game, and holy cow, 4 dungeons, 10 levels. That seems a bit much. Okay, onward. What else? Housing information. I have in my notes, and it literally says, yep, bought the base edition for $49.99, so blah, 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 do. I'm definitely not going to buy the Epic Edition again for $90 because I see your plan, Blizzard. When the code for the Collector's Edition comes in, I will have $90 sitting in my account. And wouldn't that just be really easy to click on the Brutosaur mount and just get it? But no way, I'm not doing that. I'll stick to the base edition, but here's the thing. I haven't actually bought it yet. I have not been in housing yet. I have wandered into a neighborhood, and I wandered, looked around, and of course, I can't buy a plot and build a house yet, but I did want to take a look. So yeah, I haven't been in housing. Somehow, the contrarian in me can hold this housing thing at arm's length, even as Twitter and Blue Sky is flooded with housing posts. I also know once I do buy it, once I do pre-order, once it's in front of me, I will not be able to log out of the game. So I'm in no rush. I'm excited, but I'm not in a rush. That's a weird it's a weird place to be, but I'm looking forward to it when I get to it. I'm just not going to get to it quite yet. I did watch the 9-minute housing introduction video that's in the launcher. Principal artist Jay Huang talks about getting started, even if you're a new WoW player. So there's a lot of good stuff there to get you there. And hopefully, I'm sure a bunch of you are in. Hopefully housing is going well for you. A lot of different add-ons coming out, a lot of different websites that are keeping track of where decor is, how to get it, how to gather it, how to make it, buy it. This is really exciting. This is big for the game because it is going to take you back. If you are participating and you want to participate in this, it's going to take you back into old expansions and old content in a new, meaningful way. Not, hey, go run ICC 45 times, see if you can get that horse. This is, hey, you're going to get some achievements, but also there's farming to do, there's gathering to do. And I know there's probably going to be some growing pains to work out as far as the cost of materials, how many materials, how difficult the ramp is to acquire decor. That is all going to be part of the growing pains and the tweaking and the fine tuning. Hopefully people aren't too grumpy about this being a kind of a soft beta 2, this early access, because there's no way to PTR this. Like, this guy has to get out in the world, and they're going to make adjustments. So again, everybody be patient. It's going to be a great system. There's so much that you can do, so many cool ideas showing up on, the social media feeds. Hey, do this. Hey, you can build this. Hey, an outdoor window to the, so many cool things that people are doing. So yes, have fun with housing. I look forward to that. And I do look forward to getting in, creating a solo queue neighborhood. A lot of people hopped in to say, yeah, they are interested. So we're going to try and make that happen. So hey, by all means, go make your house wherever it is now. If you are interested in joining a solo queue neighborhood, it's easy to move houses. So no reason to wait. Hop in there, do what you're gonna do, and keep listening for details. They're not gonna come in this episode, but in episode 34 to finish off the year, I'll have a little bit more for you. By then, I will have hopped into some housing. The last thing I'll say is, kind of related to 11.2.7 is, I can tell that, not that housing is wearing off, but it is time for me to get busy with the story questing, because on social media, all the housing decor mentions are starting to get replaced with mentions of a certain former Ranger General. And I don't want to know. I don't want the spoilers, so I really got to get in there and do the questing that comes with this final patch of The War Within. And with that, I think it is well beyond time for us to change gears, set up a couple more seats, and get to the big business of episode 33. Here we go.
Let's get down to business.
Let's get this interview episode going. I am excited to introduce my two guests to the solo queue. I feel like I've been manifesting a dream, and that dream is coming true. After the slow drifting away of many big-name World of Warcraft podcasts, I had hoped that there would be a resurgence of WoW podcasting. And it has begun, with the recent crop of shows like The Journey and Slash Played. But the leader of this latest wave of shows just celebrated their 10th episode on Tuesday. Azeroth Morning Radio may be a new Warcraft show, but its co-hosts are veteran content creators in various video game spaces, and they are longtime friends. I am excited to welcome to the solo queue Kash and it's time for a little bit of payback for you here, Kash. His co-host, the 4-time runner-up employee of the month at the Happy Bobber Fishing Shop in Booty Bay, it's Jibbs.
I love it.
Gentlemen, welcome.
I love it, man.
Finally got him.
Oh,
yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Hey, congratulations on the 10th episode of Azeroth Morning Radio. How do you think it's going? I feel like it came out of the gate with a lot of personality, but how are you seeing it? How's it settling in?
Terrible. We're wrapping it up right now. This is the last show.
There we go. I gotta rewrite that intro.
So long, Azeroth. It's been real.
Oh, that's awesome. No, honestly, it's been, and I don't want to speak for Kash because I want to hear what he has to say too. But it has been easily the most creatively challenging, the most creatively the most joy I've ever had creating, and the most easy creating, all wrapped into one, if that makes any sense at all. And it's just so much fun. And honestly, it's like every Tuesday, it's exciting for us because it's just like we're preparing, I don't know how else to say it. It's like we're preparing a present that we get to give the Warcraft community that we just love, and we hope that they like it. And it's a big joy, man. We just love doing this.
Isn't that the hardest part of putting it out there and just not knowing?
Oh, yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
Well, that's one of the number one things I say about podcasting is you have to just hit record and go.
Yep.
And that's how we started. But all these years later, we've learned a few things, and we feel kind of like the culmination of everything that we've done in the past is coming together here in Azeroth, where we probably should have been the entire time, because we've just always come back to World of Warcraft. Everybody, it seems like there's so many people out there that just come back to World of Warcraft. But I think Jib said it very well, because we literally talked about this earlier today when we were just having a conversation about how comfortable and how fun it is to create in this space and how at home we feel.
Mm-hmm.
So it really is excitement for us every week. And, 10 episodes. We're celebrating 10 episodes, and it's a very small milestone for us, but I feel like creatively we're just kind of getting started.
So why is WoW the mountaintop? And maybe we'll get into some of your other shows and other games that you've created content for, but why was WoW sort of the mountaintop for you guys to practice in the other places and get to here?
Kash, you want to take it?
Yeah. It's funny because deep down, I think we have always felt, and maybe a little bit of backstory. We've done a lot of different shows in the past. We've been gamers for a long time. We've been very close friends for a long time. We've had other friends hop in with us and do some shows. But over a decade, it's probably 12, 13 years now, we have been creating content in some form. If you were to go back and listen to like some of our old shows, like one of our first shows was for SWTOR. It sounded way different than our shows do now, because we've learned so much. But since then, like we've covered SWTOR, Guild Wars 2. We had a general PC gaming show that we called the Level Up Morning Show.
Oh,
we
nice.
covered WildStar, which is hilarious because at the time they had the best housing in the game or in the MMO space, and that's changing. It's changing real quick. We did a short run show for Diablo 3. We covered New World. We had a Star Wars roleplay show. And I'd probably say the longest standing show we had was called Lore Seekers. And that was over about a 3-year period. And we covered Elder Scrolls Online. Mm-hmm. So, and then most recently we did about 2 years for the development of Ashes of Creation, which is a independently developed MMO that's out there right now, or it's still in alpha testing right now.
Yeah.
But the funny thing is with all those different shows and playing all those different games, most being in the MMO space, we realized that the one game we were coming back to over and over and over again, and sneakily playing on the side while we were covering these other games, was World of Warcraft. So we felt that we needed to be at the top of our game if we were going to come into this space. We've said it a few times, World of Warcraft is the king. We feel very, very strongly about that. I mean, the numbers show that World of Warcraft is still the king of MMOs out there, especially in this MMO market that's dying. But we finally felt like we were ready to step into this space. And this is where we landed. I think we're going to be here for a long while.
Nice. I think we're done talking about the WoW killers, right? Like every one of those.
Yeah.
There may be other MMOs, and great that Ashes of Creation looks like it's gonna. Does it look like it's gonna make it? Does it? I mean, I don't know too much about it, but I know it's been in development for almost a decade.
It's gonna make it. It's gonna be very niche, though, I think, and I think it's gonna cater to a very specific crowd. Whereas World of Warcraft can cater more so to all of the crowd, depending upon the content you're choosing to do, whether it's the casual collector or the super hardcore top tier raider. You know what I mean? It's just like all over the board. And they've done that because of the way they've set up their systems, which they've done a great job doing. So, yeah.
I feel like they've done a really good job of picking at niches, at different little play styles that, you know, when you have even maybe at the low of whatever it was, 4 million, 5 million, and at the high, certainly of many more millions, any niche is going to be thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of players. And so, you know, I feel this as a solo player, if you're going to start throwing some features at me and make this easier and make it more interesting and make it more accessible, then yeah, you've got me. And now, you know, literally right now with this launch today, as we're speaking, housing is coming out. So all the people who are like, oh, well, if they stick some Animal Crossing in WoW, I'd play. And
yep.
Here it comes. And so I think they've done a good job of picking away at demographics and giving them a reason to pay that sub.
Yeah, they definitely have.
Your show targets casual WoW players to some extent, but maybe not necessarily casual, but maybe limited time, or you're targeting people who are not just playing 60 hours a week. How do you guys define that casual, or how do you define your target audience? Who are you talking to?
Well, for us, it was when we were looking at coming into this space finally, first off, we're like, do we want to do this? Because, you know, like we just talked about, like, WoW is the king, you know? And so it's just like, when you show up here, you better bring your A game. And so for us, it was, okay, let's take a look at the audience, the landscape. And we saw a lot of top tier podcasts, like the top tier difficulty, and the things that are going on. And then there's some more of the general player, that sort of thing. And for us, it was much more, I think, honestly, Kash, it was probably much more of a clear representation of our life, which is, you know, dads, families, mortgage, but we love Azeroth. And so for us, I think it is very much an outward reflection of the player that we're kind of targeting, like not necessarily how they play, but the lifestyle that they live outside of the game. And if that makes sense. And so for us, I think that was kind of like the deciding factor was we wanted to reach people who are us.
Mm-hmm. Well, and let's face it, the game's getting older, right? And we're all getting older. So yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I agree there 100%. And I also think too that if I were to define the casual, you know, aside from just kind of looking at where we are now in our lives as older, you know, responsible adults with a bunch of things going on outside of the game, I think it's a mindset thing. I truly do. And it comes down to what keeps that player logging back in. Like, are you pushing mythic keys, or would you rather pick flowers? What do you have time for? What do you have patience for?
Yeah.
And, you know, we've always, Jibbs and I and the folks that we play with, we've always gone back and forth with certain games where we have a more serious mindset and we're pushing top tier content. But as we've aged, and like Jibbs was saying, you know, we have kids and mortgages and all the things that surround that, we just realize that a slower pace is more palatable for us. It just has become more comfortable.
Yeah.
And we know that we're not alone, especially in the WoW space. We are 100% the majority out there. And there's even been videos that have been put out on it. We covered one of the videos on our show where it ranked where you are, what kind of a World of Warcraft player you are. And for as much as we play the game, I think we were both surprised to find that we were more toward the casual. Mm-hmm. You know, for the most part. There's times when I'll go, you know, a lot more hardcore, but for the most part, I stay pretty casual. I am perfectly content finding a quiet spot and picking flowers and working on alchemy or, you know, grinding something out. I love the grind. I'm sure we'll talk about it, but I absolutely love the grind of all the things that you're able to do in this game. So casuals, I think, was for us, it was a comfortable place for us to engage with people out there. And I think we're glad that we picked that. There's a lot of other shows out there that are all great shows and we've listened to them. We listen to them weekly. But a lot of them really do talk about that top tier content. And one of the things that was a big kicker for me, was a big factor, was if I was a new player to World of Warcraft, can I tune into our show and know what we're talking about? Whereas a lot of the content that covers that top tier echelon, you would start listening to one of those shows and just be like, I have zero clue what these guys are talking about. And we didn't want that for our show.
Yeah. I think Blizzard sees that too. And getting new players in, it is a huge hurdle. Mm-hmm. And I feel like once you've put in, I don't even want to put like an hour, you know, time number on that. But once you get over that hurdle of, okay, what is this world? Who are the major players? Who are the races? Like, then I think you're good to go. And you've got the framework and you can bolt on the pieces as you get there. But to get that framework down is huge. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's a 21-year-old game. There's a lot of stuff going on. So I'm looking forward to that new player experience too. And we're going to see how that, you know, I know they've been tinkering away at that for a while now. We'll see if that can actually onboard fresh new people.
Buddy, you're running out of slots.
Oh, I know. What do you mean? 70 is, yeah. I like playing a lot of characters.
Nothing wrong
Can
with
you
that,
be
dude.
casual and obsessed at the same time? Like that is the niche I think I fall into, because I love playing this game. And I have, like you said, 66 characters with 3 more lined up as soon as, you know, they become available. So that gets me to 69. So I find myself constantly asking for more character slots. Yeah. But like you guys, 9 to 5, heck, teaching is not a 9 to 5 job, and coaching on top of that. So the amount of time I have is super limited, which keeps me in that casual place. But holy cow, I love playing this game.
Yeah. It's an amazing world. It's so easy.
Right?
You know, Kash said it already. It's a warm blanket, you know, and it just feels so like it's just like a home away from home. And it's always just feels so like relaxed, and you can go and do amazing things and be a part of an amazing community. So yeah, I totally feel that.
Jibbs, when you're playing alone, when you're playing solo, what are you doing? What are you getting into?
Oh man, secretly starting new characters and not telling Kash about it so he doesn't out me on the show. No, it is. I'm almost always queuing for something, honestly. Yeah. But now I'm at this point as we're getting ready for midnight that I find myself right now, I'm doing a lot of LFR. It's fun. And I'm honestly really trying to become a student of Shadow Priest. And so I am actively trying to learn the class, just trying to really be a student of the game for that specifically. And more so, truthfully, my end game now, it's not only transmog, it's going to be housing. 100%. Yeah. Like that is, when you said Star Drew Valley, that was so spot on for me because that's really kind of more so than not. And even Kash kind of hit on it earlier is that, like we were ready to slow down more than I think we realized,
Yeah.
And when we came to this space, and Warcraft is perfect for that in so many ways.
Kash, what are you doing when you're all alone in the world and no one to play with?
Honestly, like I was saying before, I love a good grind. I would say like most recently I was, I did the Dark Fuse grind for the trench coat.
Oh,
I did that grind. It was gnarly. I picked up more trash than I really wanted to for days on end, but I got it. And the funny thing is I did it right during the week that Ozzy passed. And everybody was wearing them. And I went, I am doing this in honor of Ozzy. And I ended up getting it. So that was one of the grinds that I loved. Another one that I did back in 2020 was the Lore Master grind. That one was gnarly. It was so many quests. I had a running tally on the amount, and it was over 3,300 quests I did to get that title.
Yep.
And it was a brutal grind, but I do really enjoy questing. So when I'm solo, Jibbs and I have a little thing that we do when we play the game and we're playing solo. We will either turn the ambience all the way up and turn the music down, or turn them both up and just fully immerse in our characters. And all of our characters will have a backstory. So I really like to just, for full escape, I like to get my mind in the game. It doesn't matter what I'm doing, but I'm living that character out. And I fully realize how nerdy that sounds, and I'm super comfortable with it. But, really just forgetting about the world outside and just diving into Azeroth. And I will be, as a solo player, I'm happy picking flowers, working on my alchemy, doing some type of a grind. On my hunter, sitting in a spot for hours upon end, waiting for some rare pet to spawn that I can tame. Those are the things that I do solo.
So what's more nerdy, doing role play with a group of people or doing it alone?
I do both. Yes.
Let's coordinating alone. It's just easier.
It's true. Everything's easier. I don't. Kash, why don't you go ahead with your comment?
Well, I do like to immerse, so there are times where I'll get into full LARP, and so I'll stand up from my chair and let the game go, and I'll just LARP. I'm just kidding. Not a LARPer, but no, I would probably say if you're going there, I would probably say role playing solo is probably nerdy. And what are some examples? Let's go here with an example. Jibbs and I both do this one. So he's just as culpable as I am in this one. Whenever we make a new character and we end up in Stormwind. Yes. We go to the memorial.
Yeah.
That's right on the shoreline. And we always give our respects and do our bow to Anduin there. No, it's not Anduin. That's my bad.
It's Varian. King Varian. Sheesh. See if we let you guys out on the road again.
Anduin's Papa. We do our bow there. But the biggest part about that is that if you take in that moment, the music changes when you get there. Goes from Stormwind to a more somber tone, and it sets the stage. It's kind of a rite of passage for us with new characters because it sets the stage for what is to come, the adventure to come.
Yep.
You're paying homage to those who came before you and those who sacrificed before you. And buddy, if I can't think of anything nerdier than that, paying homage to a character in a game before you really start your adventures, and I don't know what's nerdy.
Yeah, yeah. It is a special place, though, right? That music, those bagpipes, everything. You know, I went in there to think about my uncle who passed away years ago, and in the previous episode, I talked about just diving into his account, which is still, well, I guess kind of active, but it still exists. And yeah, that was the way I decided I needed to end kind of the whole investigation, is heading down there and diving in. And, you know, when you immerse yourself, it's funny, when you immerse yourself, funny things happen.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden I'm looking up at the memorial and those sort of 3 panels of names. I'm like, yeah, he's up there. His character is up there. Like, that became very clear to me. And, you know, it's interesting. A lot of the things we do in game, oh, I got to target this mount, I got to rerun this raid. Like, so many of those things you can do, you know, I do them in OneNote or a spreadsheet or something. Like, you can make plans, but the whole immersion thing is a whole different thing. All of a sudden you just see everything in a different way. Yeah, it's fascinating. I love going down to Lion's Rest. That is the best.
Yeah.
All right, without giving away the secret that clearly Kash does 99% of the work, how do you guys function as a team? How do you?
He does it all.
What's the workload look like for you guys putting out your show?
50-50. Kash and I both. So it's. I'll be honest. He's like the brother I never had. He's the yin to my yang. So like, I don't feel like anything's done. Like, we're always creating and doing things together. You know, it's like, hey, I have this idea for a commercial, or hey, what do you think about doing this? And the fun part about Kash and I creating, it's always like, let's do it. You know, like there's no barriers, right? Like, we know the lines not to cross, and we navigate. It's like bumpers on a bowling alley, you know? And so we kind of just like stay within that, and we just create, you know, and have a good time with it. Honestly, Kash, you probably could speak more to that, but yeah.
Well, when he says that we know what lines not to cross, what he means is that he knows the lines not to cross, and he keeps me in check.
And he can edit. Yeah.
No, honestly, I do. I got to give it up to Jibbs. And you know, obviously I think we just had a question. We had a question recently. It was like, are you guys really best friends, or is that like a shtick for the show? No, it's not a shtick for the show. Like, we're really truly best friends. But I have to give him credit because he is a very talented audio engineer. Like, he's very good at this stuff. So any skill that I have is 100% because of Jibbs.
Yeah.
He's taught me a bunch of stuff, and I still have moments. I had a moment last week where I was super frustrated with an edit, and he was super calm and walked me through everything. As a matter of fact, he said, send me the raw. I sent him the raw, and he completely fixed it. So I was like, how did you do that? And he's like, I'll walk you through it. So yeah, he gets 100% of the credit for being just a super talented audio guy. Anything that I know was taught by him.
Thanks.
But yeah, we do our best to make everything as equal as possible, but I'd be lying to say that he doesn't have a bigger technical skill set than I do. So I follow his lead a lot. I can kind of come up with some funky, funny ideas, especially for our goblin crew. And he's given me the skills to be able to run with those. So now I'm at the point to where I just have an idea in my head, and I write up a script for, say, a commercial or a bit. And then I just record it, edit it, do everything, and then send him the finished product. And he's almost every time, and I love him for this, he's like, oh my God, dude, that was so funny. That's great. You did a great job. But at such and such a time, we have to fix this, we have to fix that. So he has a much more trained ear for stuff than I do for the final polish. But we really do work well together, and we try to share the load as much as we possibly can. We've had some projects that have been very difficult because we've overloaded ourselves with too much stuff, you know, YouTubes and Patreons and just, you know, pushing videos out is a lot of work. Like, it truly is. And we've had some projects where we've overloaded ourselves. And I think on this one, we came at it with a mindset of if the fun goes away, we need to reevaluate. And, yeah, we're new. We're only 10 episodes in here, but man, I cannot believe the fun that we're having doing stuff. Every week, it's fun to stay out of the game. You sacrifice a bit of game time and you just dive into creation and you bounce things off of each other. And we think so alike that his ideas will make me crack up and laugh and my ideas will make him crack up and laugh. And then we just run with it. And it seems to be working.
It comes out.
It doesn't feel like 10 episodes.
Yeah. It comes out in the show. It does sound like you guys are like a zipper, like kind of interlocked and on the same wavelength. And the show has fantastic immersion. And obviously those commercials and the little bits absolutely help. Where does that inspiration come from? Where are the ideas? Where do you get your ideas for that?
Go ahead, Kash.
No, I was pointing at you.
Oh, that's okay.
I thought you were raising your hand. See, as a teacher, I would have called on you. Like,
I thought
Kash has the answer.
Yeah. It's like, ooh, I know that cue. All right.
Different show, different cue, man. Come on.
Yeah. Honestly, it's like we knew we wanted to have, so that having goblins as part of the shtick really sets you up for crazy anyway, and kind of over the top. And so it's inspiration comes for us from just about anything, whether it's, like we had one recently come out, Necromancers R Us. I was thinking about Toys R Us and going there as a kid. I'm like, that'd be funny if they were selling bodies. And so that's just, we just kept going with that. And it's kind of like the same way through everything. Like Kash did we did 1 week where we did the gnome enlarger, and Kash is like, dude, it'd be funny if we had a lawyer's thing after that and a second commercial. And we did it. And it's just like, it just worked. And so it's just like this, like something that, like an idea of something you're watching or you're seeing, and you're like, okay, what would that look like if it was dialed up to like 10? And you're crossing a line, quote unquote, like a funny line that you normally wouldn't do in real life, right? Like, goblins being all about gold, and all of a sudden they're selling corpses at a Necromancer's R Us. So, like it's just kind of crazy.
Yeah, I didn't appreciate you sending your goblins in for the intro of the show, by the way.
I know, I'm sorry. I know, they can get a little crazy. We forgot to pay them last week.
Their union's pretty strong, so they kind of do what they will do.
Fair enough. I know I've mentioned this to you guys in a message at some point, but you clearly draw inspiration from the long now gone show, Azeroth Public Radio, and the similarities are great. The vibe is so strong. I loved that show and all the work that went into that. And it was sort of like, when they disappeared after, 6 episodes or so, I wasn't actually surprised because it seemed like so much work. And here we are years later, and you guys have picked up that torch, and it's not the same show. You guys are doing your own thing, definitely. But boy, I love having a show with that same level of immersion and detail and depth and thoughtfulness out there for me to listen to. What do you guys have? Like, what do you take away from Azeroth Public Radio?
Cold.
I 100% am glad that you brought that up, because we both feel that Azeroth Public Radio, or our show, Azeroth Morning Radio, is 100% a love letter to that show. APR was fantastic. It was in a league of its own. We know the folks there, Coltrane and Shoe Boots, just great people. Coltrane reached out to us, I think when we were doing our ESO show, Jibbs. Yeah, reached out to us, and we struck up a dialogue, and just such a wonderful production that he had going. And I mean, obviously the gentlemen there have so much experience in what they're doing. I mean, they do it professionally, and it definitely shows. But AMR is a love letter to that show, and we definitely do draw some inspiration. We wish that show could have continued just because of the production value was so amazing. So we really want to, in each of our shows, although we couldn't match them at all, they're amazing, and you can see how much work goes into their show. But we wanted to honor their creation by kind of continuing on the journey as much as we could, but still being able to get the news out and have some fun and be Jibbs and Kash. Jibbs and I are really in our element, and when we're together and we're talking, we're laughing, we're bouncing stuff off of each other. And through past shows, it seemed to work. Like, people seemed to kind of like our personalities a little bit, and we wanted to continue that with this. So, and at the same time, a lot of that was our want to loop in the massive amount of casual players that are out there that can learn some things, feel like they're in a room with some of their friends that play the game the same way that they do, and, have a place that they can call home. And that's what we hope AMR will turn into.
Nice.
Yeah.
What do you think is the most difficult aspect of content creation that listeners and players don't realize? What are they not seeing that is just the biggest hurdle, or the biggest the most difficult part of putting stuff out for people?
Sure, that's easy, and it kind of comes for me in two forms. Kash will probably have a little bit of a different answer, but for me, it's 5 a.m. editing sessions. I wake up. It could be Friday, it could be Saturday, but I'm up and I'm editing way before the sun comes up. And typically that's it could be anywhere from a 3 to 5 hour process. And then you're doing all the other things on top of that edit. So you're putting out the transcript, making sure that, it is auto generated, but also it's, I have to change the names and all that sort of stuff, and make sure all the posts and everything's out ready for the week. And so I would say that's the back end, right? But that's also what makes podcasting a labor of love. And that's why every Tuesday, whenever we're able to put that out for them, it's such a joy for us, because it's so much work has gone into that for them, for that hour to hour and a half. It's, that is just something for the listener. And we've always really believed that your listener deserves your best. And so we enjoy doing that thing for them. And honestly, I would say in addition to that, it's probably, and this goes for every podcaster, you're always on. Like, your switch is always on, and learning how to, over the years, when you're able to learn how to shut that switch off and kind of compartmentalize, like, okay, we can put you in this block right now, and I'm going to pull out this block and turn that switch on. You know what I mean? Like, it's, once you're able to do that, it definitely helps. But for the most part, a lot of podcasters, you're mentally always on, so to speak. And so it's, that is an ongoing thing that I think every person deals with.
Yeah, I think a lot of the difficulty comes in just being human. If you have a bad day, we all have bad days. If you have a really rough day, or, you have a lot of things that are going on in your life, but that Wednesday night is recording night, you have to shut it off. You absolutely have to shut off, because the listener will pick up on it. We have very smart listener bases out there that listen to podcasts. There's been studies about how people that listen to podcasts are a lot more intelligent than some of the rest of the population. So they'll pick up on it really quick if you are having a rough day. So you have to know, just like Jibbs was saying with that switch, turning it on and turning it off. And the good thing about podcasting, about something that you love so much, is that just like logging into the game, I can forget about the real world for a little while and drop into that mode, to where this is host mode, and I love host mode. I love this game. I love talking about it. So it makes it a little bit easier to do that. The other thing I think that makes it difficult, that people don't realize all the time, is that we're always constantly striving to keep things fresh and interesting and different. So you'll see, like with our segments, we'll kind of go through phases where, hey, we really like this segment, we'll keep it for a little while, but we'll always change things up eventually and try something new, try something different. And when you're trying new and different things, there's a lot of work and design that goes into that. There's a lot of, I'm sure, just as you know, there's a lot of behind the scenes things that you need to do to make those work. Like, is this going to fly? Does this sound funny to you? Does it sound good? Does it sound like it'd be valuable for the listener? So there's a lot of trial and error on things that work and things that don't work. And I don't think the general listener sees it or knows the time that goes into that. We do a lot of meetings. And when Jibbs and I do our meetings, we fish. We log into the game.
Nice.
We have a spot just right on the border of Duskwood and Elwyn.
Oh, yeah.
And we go to this little island there and we fish. And we get a lot of work done right there. Might not catch a lot of fish, but we're still in the game and we're working. So to us, we try and make it, kind of fun and immersive while we're trying to be creative and come up with new things. But it's a lot of time. It really is a lot of time. And like Jibbs was saying, it's 100% labor of love.
Yeah. Yeah. One of the benefits of being a solo show is I can do most of my meetings in the shower. It's very nice. The white noise, it's warm.
Yeah.
No one's bugging me. The only problem is with my horrible memory, I've got to make sure I get out of the shower, get to my phone and write that stuff down because
I was going to say, it's hard to take notes in the shower.
It is hard to take notes in the shower. You get that waterproof paper.
Write it in the steam.
Yes.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yep. Jibbs, what's with the love for Borealis?
Oh, dude. I just love it, man.
Yeah.
I have, at heart, for whatever reason, I even told my wife the other day, I'm like, if I could go back and redo my life, I would have joined the Navy because I just want to be on the ocean. I just have this, it's what my tattoos are. It's, wow. I love the of the sea pirate culture. Yeah. It's just something about, it's so funny you asked this question. This morning, I think it was this morning or yesterday, no, it was yesterday morning. I, for whatever reason, was standing in Borealis. Oh, the time walking for Borealis. And so I was in there and a track came on and it was the track that one of the identifying tracks of Borealis.
I know which one.
And it just plays.
I know it.
Yeah. It just hits me every time. And it still makes me teary-eyed every time. I have no idea why, but I just love it. I love it. I love the city design. I love the people. That's what my character is. That's what I roleplay as. I just love it, man. I'm a huge pirate fan. Maybe that's the short answer. I love ships and cannons and pirates and yar and all kinds of stuff.
What were you doing before BFA?
Missing it.
Missing what you didn't know didn't exist yet?
Missing what Honestly, you know what it was? Yeah. Truthfully, honestly. So Warlords of Draenor was my first real foray into Warcraft on having my subscription and every month and playing. And for me, so I would say probably before BFA, it was 100% just enjoying the garrison. Okay. And we were a Horde at the time. We bounced around a lot between Horde and Alliance. We're Alliance at heart. Kash and I both are, and that's what we play. But sometimes we would make a Horde character and, because you can see different lore and different stories and, Zandalaris and all that stuff. So we were doing that too. But yeah. Missing it.
What are some of the places and the races and the sounds in Azeroth that you identify with or you're passionate about? Kash, I'll throw this to you. What jibes with you?
Nature.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah. I think as we were talking about before the show started, about where we're from. I live in Southern California. So I'm not surrounded by nature.
I must protect the wild.
We have pockets of nature. And I have a lot of family that is not in this state, and they're more wilderness people. And I really enjoy over the years. I've been on, several fishing trips, hunting trips, and that's kind of become a passion of mine, but something that I can't always do. Because I'm here in this, in this Mecca. I'm not in LA. Thank God I'm not in LA. Yeah. But I'm in an outskirt of Orange County, California. And we just don't have a ton of nature around us. There's definitely no hunting around here. There's very little fishing, so I have to travel to do it. So it's a lot more difficult for me to get out on those trips than I would like. You know, like, it's not like I can take a day trip and be in the wilderness and then do the things I like to do. So if I can do it in the game, it's almost as good. So I really head toward the nature motif. I love the story and the history of the Kaldari. So I always play a night elf. Almost always, unless I'm playing Horde, then I'm usually playing a goblin. But yeah, I really love the aesthetic. So I'm usually playing either a druid, which is what I play now. I play Resto Druid, or I'm dabbling on my hunter. And it's because the surrounding motif of both of those classes is nature. Mm-hmm. So it's funny because as a night elf, I will always start my characters in Teldrassil, Darnassus area, because I feel like it's his rite of passage. This is where you're from. This is where you learn the ropes. Yeah. And then he always ends up in Elwyn. And by the time I get to Elwyn Forest, because I just love the aesthetic there, it is just absolutely stunning and beautiful in the music. By the time he ends up there, he's one-shotting everything because in Teldrassil, I've picked every flower, I've skinned every animal, I've done all the content there. So I'm usually out leveled by the time I get to Elwyn, but I still take the time to go through that area on any new character just because I love the zone so much.
Wholeheartedly agree. As a lifelong druid, yeah, absolutely. Love it. Hey, while we're recording, they promised us 2 more hours of maintenance, but as we were getting in, I saw some people actually in their houses and getting into the game. So I'm keeping you from 11.2.7. So I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. And obviously we haven't been in game yet, but what are your thoughts on this final patch of The War Within? What do you like? What are you excited about?
Easy housing.
Yeah, that's fair.
Without it.
Next question.
That in the story. Yeah. Next question, please. I'll take housing for 500, Alex. I think for me, it's easily housing. Yeah. And the story. That truthfully, it's the story. Kash and I both love lore in general, and we loved it deeply in Elder Scrolls Online and Elder Scrolls as well, and we have loved it for decades now in World of Warcraft. And so, it's both of those things, I think, combined. So housing and lore, without a doubt, for me.
Is it hard to, because I know you guys have played in a lot of different games, a lot of different universes. Is it hard to keep all of that lore compartmentalized and to bounce back and forth? Are you still actively playing a lot of other games, or is WoW kind of your focus? Really? Yeah, just focus on WoW.
Yeah, so I'll play WoW. If I'm not playing WoW, honestly, like I'm doing a palate cleanser playing Battlefield 6, some kind of, just something wildly different. Yeah. But no, it is Warcraft for me, 100%.
Yeah, and same with me. I'm in Warcraft. I would say 99% of the time, unless I'm dabbling or the servers are down, and then we'll be in Battlefield 6 pretty much. But we'll have little forays into shooters. I absolutely love the Ghost Recon series. So I'll do a lot of solo play in Ghost Recon. It's actually really fun the way we do it. If I'm doing it solo, or I'll get in there with Jibbs, we will turn all the UI off and just go completely hardcore mode. Wow. And we will try to stealth every single mission. Yes. And if we end up screwing it up, we reset it and start again. It's so much fun the way we play.
Nice.
Anyway. For Warcraft, it's low-hanging fruit, but it is what it is. The housing system is 100% the most exciting thing for me with 11.2.7. I don't want to make anybody feel FOMO, but we already got in and got our neighborhood and our plots. The servers came up an hour before we started doing the show with you, and we're like, dude, let's do it. So let's go. Got in there. But honestly, some of the other things I'm really excited about too is seeing a bunch of friends come back. We have some friends that are going to be diving back into Warcraft for Midnight, so we're really looking forward to that. And honestly, I'm looking forward with 11.2.7 coming out. Housing is going to be a big thing that everybody's going to dive into, but I really am looking forward to catching up on some professions, doing a lot of fishing, and just kind of having everything in the perfect spot for when midnight starts, including my inventory. Like that's always like the week before a expansion comes out, I go through my entire bank and then try and empty out every single thing I can so that I just have as fresh a start as I can in the new expansion. So, and it's a fun time because when expansions come out, it's just a great time. It's like the launch of any brand new game that you've been looking forward to. It's a special, magical time. So I take that discretionary time and really make sure that my character is ready to rock for it. So I'm looking forward to that time.
Yeah. Jibbs, do you have any rituals pre-expansion that you go through?
Oh yeah, it's definitely inventory. Yeah. Getting that, lined up and ready. And then honestly, it's you know what? I think that's it. Inventory. I want to make sure my inventory is good. And then anything else is just, for me, it has been lately really picking my class. I think that's, come out in the show a lot. Is the hard part has been figuring out what I want to play with the upcoming changes that I have yet to play. So it's just like I needed to really comb through, what's coming down the pipeline in midnight and really decide on that class. And so I think that's been another part of it too for me.
I think you guys need to reprogram the Spark machine to spit out a random class for Jibbs to play. What do we think?
Oh my gosh.
Give
him ideas.
Well, no, I mean, it's easy. If we could find a caster that heals and tops the DPS charts and tanks and can also do up close melee combat. There's one that does all that. I think he will nail it.
Yeah, isn't there like a Swiss Army class? Is there a cheat code we could put in to unlock it? I think it's there. I just maybe big head mode. Maybe, I don't know.
It's in that secrets community. We're just gonna crack that.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
In the secrets community. It's hidden behind code.
How horrible would it be if somebody were to come up with some plausible possible leads for secrets and get the secret community fired up about that, but it not really be real?
Oh, that'd suck. that would suck.
Dastardly.
Yeah, no kidding.
April Fool's is coming. Fool's joke.
Yeah.
Send them on a wild goose chase.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my gosh.
Man.
They'd be at the front doors of Azeroth Morning Radio with pitchforks and torches. It was you. We know it was you.
Oh, that's funny.
So I know you guys have played a lot of different games and you've seen a lot of different systems and the different ways to do a lot of things in MMOs. What would WoW benefit from? There's still other things that WoW can add. What are some of the features of Ashes of Creation or Guild Wars 2 or ESO? Some of those games that you've covered in the past, what would be a great thing to steal and adapt, which I think is a Blizzard tactic? What do you think they should do?
We're both smiling at each other because he knows exactly what's going to be said. New World Fishing. Take it. Steal it, baby, and make it your own, because holy cow, is that a system of systems for fishing.
So I've heard that, but tell me why. What's good about New World Fishing?
It's very interactive. Like, you're reeling the fish in. It's pulling away from you. While it's coming up to the water, you're seeing all these effects. You can see what kind of fish it is. While it's coming up to you, fishes have weight. Of course, you can fillet your fish and that sort of thing, which you already can do in WoW, but it's a whole interactive experience. You can snap your line. You can choose how far you want to cast out. It's just like, I tell you, New World did a lot of things, unfortunately, wrong, but it nailed that, man. Holy cow, it nailed that. It's so interactive. And if there's ever a game that, I mean, like, we just got housing, right? Which is such a big deal to this IP. Just the fact, if they were to ever update the system of fishing to something like that, oh my gosh, talk about chef's kiss. It's amazing.
Now, careful what you wish for, because your meetings in Darkshore and are going to go very poorly if it's that involved.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, we'll have to pick some other hunter-gatherer activity to do while we're doing it. Because like right now, fishing it's mindless.
Yeah, it is.
It's click and then wait and then click. But yeah, and you could see too, just here as we're doing this interview, him and I were both smiling at each other because we know exactly where we're going with that. And there's tons of other things and other, little sneaky steals that they could take from other games. And we've always been very big proponents of standing on the shoulders of giants. Like if somebody's doing something amazing, grab it and make it your own. You can take the general ideas and make it your own. And there's no doubt in my mind that they have done that. We just talked about this on our show. They've done that with the housing system. Imagine the research that went into them looking at every other MMOs or even solo player games housing systems. And they've taken all of the best things from those systems, made them available in WoW's housing system, and then they threw endeavors on top of it and neighborhoods and guild neighborhoods and made it so accessible for every player, no matter how you play the game. I will be very surprised if we see another housing system in the next 10 years of MMOs or games that is any better than this one. It just doesn't seem possible. But they did it because they pulled from the resources that are already out there. They did their research. So one of the biggest things that I like to bring up when it comes to features in a game that were super memorable for me and it just have created the best memories was the bounty system in Star Wars: The Old Republic. It was fantastic. And I love to tell the story. I've probably told it on 10 different podcasts, but I love this story. And
Star Wars Galaxies, what you mean?
Star Wars Galaxies. Yeah, sorry about that. Star Wars Galaxies. I played that game. I'm a huge Star Wars fan. I loved that game so much for what it was at the time. And in the timeline of that game, a Jedi was very rare. You had to do a series of things to even unlock. You only got one character slot per server. If you did a bunch of random things, which had to do with leveling professions in a certain order, if you were lucky, you could open up this force-sensitive character slot. It gave you an additional character slot where you could basically make a Jedi, and your Jedi started out as a Padawan. So because of the way the timeline was, if you did things that would identify you as a Jedi, like in town where others would see it, you would end up on this bounty board. And on the bounty board was an actual system of quests that the game systems would generate for bounty hunter players. There were literally there's a class where you could be a bounty hunter, and these were some of the most, and it was perfectly canon, right?
Yeah.
The bounty hunters were some of the most dangerous people in the game world. And if you pulled your lightsaber out by hitting the wrong button in town, and there's other players around you, you would end up on that bounty board. And there was no worse feeling than trying to grind out experience as a Padawan in some remote part of a planet. And you see that T-shaped visor coming over the rise. It would instill fear in your heart and you would just book it because you're a Jedi Padawan and there's a top-ranked bounty hunter right there ready to cash in on your corpse. So I know there's already some sort of a bounty system in World of Warcraft that I haven't really dove into too much, but a full-blown system like that where quests could be AI generated or generated by the system somehow for something you do in the game, and all of a sudden your character's on the board and people are coming for you, and vice versa. You could do the same thing. You could take quests and go try and hunt these people down. Oh my gosh. So much fun. Such another dimension added to your gameplay. It would be a blast.
Well, when you feel fear in a video game, you know that's what we're going for, right? That total immersion of I'm staring at a screen. There's nothing to be afraid of. But you're like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. That is like peak entertainment, right?
Yes. And again, like those are the reasons that I had so many good memories, because in that game, if you died, you would accumulate like a debt on your experience, like a bunch of experience that you just grinded out. You will lose it if you die. And then that part of your health bar becomes black, and you have to go to a hospital or med center, what we called them. And you would have to, you'd have to get healed by the combat medics or the doctors. They would have certain stim packs they could give you to heal that part of your health that you lost. So it was this full blown system in the game where every class provided some benefit to others. And I really, that's like one of the things about Ashes of Creation that I like so much, is that they locked some of those things off, and you had to have friends or contacts that would be able to assist you in some of those parts of gameplay. So, the bounty system is one that I like to talk about. Obviously, the fishing thing, I'm sure there's a bunch of them. There's a bunch of really good systems out there and other MMOs that we could probably mention, but those are probably two of the biggest ones.
Tell me about ESO style combat. I saw that phrase come up as I was kind of poking through some of the stuff you've done in the past. And I've never played ESO. What is the difference? Would it benefit WoW? Would it work with WoW or no?
So ESO is much simpler. Like, you have a front bar and a back bar. And on that front bar, you have 4 or 5 skills only, and then like your ultimate skill. Same on the back bar, 4 or 5 skills and then ultimate skill. And you have to swap, like what skills you want. And within ESO, they have what they call light attack weaving. So to maximize any of your DPS you would do in that game, you would do an ability, left click on your mouse to do a basic attack, because it's much more action combat oriented. And then you would do another ability, and then a light attack, and then another ability, and then a light attack. So like you're always weaving these things. And so it's definitely different. I don't think that Warcraft would benefit from that system. I think they've developed their own tools that they have benefited from personally. So the one button rotation, like that brought so much accessibility to the community, and it's amazing. And I'm so glad they did that thing, because it's helped so many people. And so it's just little tools like that. I think that they've already achieved that on their own.
Yeah, as a tab target game, I think WoW needs to keep it right where it's at, because it does make the game so accessible to other people. Elder Scrolls Online, for as good and fun as that game is, I would spend hours on a target dummy just to hit certain benchmarks. And that is not casual play. Not casual. Let me repeat that. It was a lot more complicated. Like, your rotations were a lot more complicated. Well, World of Warcraft being more of a tab target game, it ends up that there is just as much difficulty in World of Warcraft if you want it to be there.
Right.
It can be there. You turn off the targeted assist, and you really concentrate on your timing, and you concentrate on your rotation and hitting that rotation correctly with or without the add-ons or the things that could help you do it. And World of Warcraft can be as simple or as complicated as you want it to be. And at this point in my life, as much as I enjoyed my time in ESO, World of Warcraft and the combat system, which they are improving, they're constantly improving it, is just the way that I want to play my game.
Fair enough. What is your outlook for World of Warcraft? We're on the precipice of a new expansion, but we're in the middle of the trilogy. How are you feeling about WoW going into the trilogy and then coming out of the trilogy? What do you think?
Kash?
I think that World of Warcraft is on some of the best trajectory it's been on in years. There's, and it depends on what WoW media you listen to, but there's always some level of complaints about the things that are going on and the decisions that are being made. And I'll take Bellular, for example, who is one of my most respected content creators that I love his stuff. But Bellulart, he is a high level player and he tells it like it is. And I enjoy that about him greatly. I think the thing is for good or bad, whether, he's saying very good things about the game or he's saying things that he thinks needs to be improved and people are complaining about, you can tell that he loves this game. And his team loves this game. They dive into stuff deeper than other content creators out there. And it's just, I'm super impressed and I love watching his stuff. But there always is that semblance of good, bad. I personally think the trajectory is looking very, very good. And the reason being is because right now they're making a lot of changes to make the game more accessible for more people, to bring in a new audience in addition to us who've been playing this game for years and years. Much more accessibility. They are making improvements to the game for its longevity. It's an older game, but the game still looks and runs beautiful. You can run it on a potato of a machine, which is a beautiful thing. But I think probably the biggest thing that gives me the most excitement for Midnight and post-trilogy and what's coming in the future is that Metzen's back at the helm. I think that is going to be huge for the stories that are going to be told, for wherever the expansions are going to be taken in the future with Metzen. Not that the other stories weren't good, but there's good and then there's Metzen good.
Sure.
He loves this thing that he created. And he's back. He's in his element. And you can tell like he's not in the spotlight very much right now. The dude is working. And to me, it's a wonderful place to be in. And I just think there's no better time other than maybe the first few years. There's no better time to be a World of Warcraft player than right now.
I feel like in the first few years, not that I was there, but you didn't know where this was going. At first, there was no expansion planned. It was just, here's World of Warcraft. It's all new. I think knowing what we know now, what a ride, right? But we know now, like I was just, as you were saying that, I'm thinking, how crazy cool was it for Metzen to say, oh yeah, we're thinking about that in 17 point whatever. Like, wait, what? Not only have you told us the trilogy, we know the next 3 expansions and the big story, but you're like, oh yeah, that's in 4 expansions after the trilogy's done. Okay, this game's here for a while. I'm with you. I'm on board with you.
Yeah, I don't think the game is going anywhere. And I really think that the future for storytelling is going to bring a lot of players back to the table when it comes to Warcraft.
It is nice to have Metzen back. Do you think, I mean, I don't know which way this goes. Do you think he stays after the trilogy?
I sure hope he does.
I
truly do. Because if he stays and lays the foundation for more stories to be told, then some of the other big names will probably stick around and continue to create all that ancillary stuff that's around it. So, comics, novels. We just talked about Christy Golden's latest novel, Blood Ties. And Jibbs is further along than I am with it, but I'm kind of waiting to dive into that until like right before midnight. But it's not just the stories that the game tells, but it's a lot of ancillary stuff that still help to keep you connected to the game when you're not in the game. And it just opens the doors for those stories to be told as well. So if you're laying the foundation out for not just this trilogy, but the trilogy after that, and then, you have a whiteboard with the trilogy you want to tell after that, yeah, you're 100% right. This game is going nowhere. They're just going to continue to build upon what they have and modernize things and make the game more accessible for people. Again, I honestly believe that this is a wonderful time to be a Warcraft fan.
Jibbs, how are you feeling about the future of World of Warcraft?
Dude, you're not going to like this probably because it's less content, but everything he just said, he hit the nail on the head. Like, I couldn't say it better. I couldn't dream of saying it better. Everything he just said. I'm really excited to see what happens with The Last Titan, truthfully. That's the expansion I'm personally most looking forward to. Not at all that I'm not looking forward to Midnight, because I really am. But for me personally, The Last Titan was the one that has interested me the most out of the trilogy. And I look forward to seeing what comes after that.
Yeah.
Those are the two biggest things to me personally that really, really interests me, especially from a lore standpoint and a story standpoint and major character standpoint. So yeah, definitely those two.
There is something to that, right? When they say, hey, our next 3 expansions are about this, and we're going to tell this arc of a story. I know it seems stupid, but the first thing my brain is like, yeah, but what's next? What's in 6 years? So now instead of just, oh, I wonder what the next expansion will be in 2 years, I'm literally like, yeah, but I can't wait to find out what we're going to do after. And that's a funny problem to have, right? Like, yeah, but what else? But like a 2-year-old, yeah, but why? Yeah, but what? What's next?
Yeah, but what? It's so true. Oh, man.
Have you guys thought anything about what is after the trilogy? Do you have any, not even going to say predictions, just thoughts, hopes, dreams? I don't know, anything?
Oh, man.
Right?
The one big thing that I really loved about the World Soul Saga is that they took it full circle.
Yeah.
So if anybody out there is reading books, or you enjoy reading books, if you have not read the Chronicles, which is they're continually adding on it. I think they're on 4.
Yeah, number 4
now.
Yep.
But if you go back to 1 and read the first, quarter of the book of volume 1 of the Chronicles, you will see how the World Soul Saga has taken us full circle, because World Souls are something that are talked about at the very beginning of time. Mm-hmm. Like where the Titans were there, the old gods were there, every planet out there had a World Soul, and they were asleep. So they were going out to try and find out if these World Souls, if these different planets had World Souls, and if they could like wake them and bring them to their side. Well, at the same time, the old gods are trying to do the same thing. And the old gods are trying to find out if there's a World Soul and bring it to their side. So it's this constant battle of light and dark. If they can do that here, 20 years later, bring it back full circle, they can do that with almost any of the timelines of any of the expansions that they've done. They've done it with Legion. Like, look what they've done with Legion and Legion Remix. It actually didn't make it feel like you were just going back and doing old content again. You were a researcher there with a research group, and you're going through all the content that many of us have already been through, but it was somehow awesome and fresh and new. So, you look at the stories revolving around Cataclysm. I'm sure there were tons of other stories that were going on at the time that have effects all the way to, and expansions and beyond, other expansions and beyond. So I still think it's an open book. I think there's a lot more space on that map. You can make that map as big as you want. You can add another continent. Look what they did with Pandaria. Yeah. Nobody knew it was there.
Yep.
And all of a sudden they go through the mists and here's this world. This whole other world is right there. So I think there's a lot of places that they can still take it. As for like figuring out exactly what storylines and stuff, I think that they would choose to follow. I just don't know. But that's the excitement of it, honestly, is like, oh my gosh, you finally hear it and you're like, oh my gosh, we're going underground. What? The goblins have a whole city that looks like Vegas underground. What? So there's no doubt that they are very inventive and very creative, and whatever they bring for us in the subsequent years is going to be very interesting and very fun.
Do you think they can go in a different full circle and bring us back to adventurers tackling human-sized, or I guess humanoid-sized issues, and all the way back from that cycle of battling world souls and gods and titans and all of that? Are we ever going to come out of that rarefied air, do you think? Is that possible?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so, if they blow everything up.
Yeah.
like the full nuclear option. Yeah, this is like totally like devil's advocate in a way.
Yeah.
But like, like 100%. Like in the reality, they could do anything they wanted.
Sure.
But to, like post Last Titan, well, what happens to Azeroth? Do we have to start all over again in a different planet or something else entirely? Like, do we have to go through a portal like the Orcs did maybe in Burning Crusade? And it's a whole new thing. Like who knows? But Kash, what do we call that? The crazy board? The Wall of Crazy.
Wall of Crazy.
Yeah.
The Wall of Crazy? Yeah. Why not? So maybe Azeroth dies and we have to go somewhere. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think there's a spot for that. The part of them getting there, the journey, I think would be incredibly fun to see what that would look like, and what that would feel like as a player and fan. But yeah, absolutely. Why not? Wall of Crazy.
Just please don't flood the wetlands again. Look,
Those poor guys.
look, man.
They're the wetlands. Come on.
It can only take one flood. The place would be completely underwater if they do it again.
Yep.
Do you guys think much about Classic? And really, the thing that sparked me is Kash. You said story. There's so many other stories around Cataclysm and around whatever. I feel like that's a great off ramp for a Classic Plus. Hey, let's make a Classic Plus set in an old time, in whatever, doing different stories. Is that something you pine for, think about, would play?
Yes. And there's a caveat to that because we recently talked about this on our show. And I feel like we've had such a great, deep discussion on all things, including lore here, that now I'm going to show everybody how completely shallow I am. Yes, I would love that. I would love a Classic Plus that tells different stories as long as the renderings of characters and the aesthetics of the world were modernized.
Yeah.
Again, I laugh because I think it's funny. I'm super shallow. I like pretty things. And when I go back and I play vanilla and I play Classic, the experience is wonderful. It truly is. It's a lot of fun because like Jibbs has always said, and it is very true, it is a true old school RPG. That's what you're playing, but you're playing it with a bunch of your friends. So there's a lot of magic and charm there. But where I have my hard time is just that it is just looks so dated. So if it were to look newer, we had those new renderings of characters and the world was redone. And we were going back and kind of like what you're saying, telling the stories to where you are just a adventure, not the adventure. I think a lot of people would really dig that. And, us for sure. We would absolutely, it would be really difficult to figure out whether we're going to play retail or live in that world now.
Yeah.
It would be really tough.
But you have all the time in the world. It'll be fine.
I wish.
Right.
If I was retired, I'd have all the time in the world, but not quite there yet.
No. Not that.
Still holding.
Well, hey, how about we jump into a lightning round? And if you've listened to the show, the lightning round is where I ask really fast questions and then we probably talk about the answers for far too long, but we'll see how it goes. I have a very poor track record for lightning round, but this is the first time I've had two people on the show together. So we're going to do this a little differently. I'm going to ask a bunch of questions where you have to respond how you think your podcast partner would respond.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
This is going to be fun for you, Jibbs.
All right. So first question. Favorite mount in WoW? Jibbs, what do you think Kash is most likely to mount up on?
Lightsaber.
Kash?
Am I telling Jibbs' thing now, or do I tell him that he's wrong?
Let's tell him he's wrong first. How is it not a lightsaber? You're a night elf.
Yeah, but I'm also a very nature-y guy.
Okay.
So I think if I had to pick a mount, it would be my owl form as a druid.
Fair. Yeah.
Oh, we're not talking about forms. That doesn't count.
Okay, then yeah, lightsaber.
Yeah, all right.
All right, Kash, what do you think the ride of choice is for Jibbs?
This is going to be hilarious.
I think I'm going to have to pick Invincible.
Oh. Once I own it. Yes.
Oh, that's just a dig, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Oh, yeah. Honestly, if I had it, yes. But truthfully, though, my favorite mount, I always go back to it, and possibly because there's a transmog attached to it, but the bear. The bear with the fishing pole with the lantern, with all the lighting effects. Yep. You got it from the shop for $20, I think. It's what it was. So good. It's one of my favorite. Yeah. It's honestly one of my genuinely favorite mounts just to use. It's a beautiful mount. I love it.
Great answer. All right.
This is like a couple that has to like, like for points has to like pick what their companion's going to say. We're going to find out how much we really don't know about each other. Right?
Yeah, it's going to get better.
An argument.
Okay, question. You have had enough of your partner's shenanigans, and you are given the power to exile him somewhere in the WoW universe. Where are you sending Jibbs Kash? You have to exile him somewhere.
Oh, man, that's a great question. Let's see. I'm going to put him in the middle of Orgrimmar as an alliance character with war mode on.
Oh my gosh, that's brutal.
It's not as brutal as my first choice. That was the nice one.
What was your
first choice? The other one was to strip your character naked and out in the middle of the ocean. Good luck.
Oh, okay, that's fair.
Jibbs, what do you think?
Now, do I need to?
Yeah, where are you going to send him now that he is
Blasted Lands? Blasted Lands. Zero nature. Hey, look at that face.
That hurt. Yeah, I could see that.
Oh, it's like sending me out to Bakersfield.
Oh man,
it's a wasteland.
For this time, it's for each of you individually. So, what is your proudest moment in Warcraft? Like, what is the thing that sticks out to you?
Kash.
Lore Master. 100%.
Nice.
That was a super proud moment for me. It was a very long journey.
Yeah.
And at the time I was doing it without any like guides, which I know that they have now that just kind of like, nope, you're going this way. Boop, nope, you're going that way. I did it without any of those. And sometimes the quest lines like wouldn't match up, or I'd get into a new zone and I'd already done some of the quest lines. So I had no idea where to start. So it was truly a journey and a labor of love to be able to complete all those achievements to get Lore Master. It was tough.
How long did it take from the time you said, I actively want to do this, to finishing?
I would say I worked on it very hard, not casually at the time, for probably 4 months.
Oh, okay. Wow.
But that was after having played the game for several years before that.
Yeah. Okay. I know when I decided I'm going to track this by expansion, by continent, by whatever, and I know you mentioned all like numbering all of the quests. I just did like quest lines in each expansion, in each area, and tracked it that way. And I think we did it about the same time. I think I did it just ahead of Shadowlands, so 2020, so similar time. And I remember it just being a slog going through that list of checking off this one and checking off this one and this one. I'm 6 of 8 quest lines, and I didn't even, normally I like the math, but I could not bring myself to do the math of 6 to 8. How many actual quests are in all of that? So, yeah, I feel you on that triumph of finally getting there. That's awesome. Jibbs, what's your proudest moment in WoW?
One day we'll be Lore Master, because Kash's and your answer both are infinitely better. I say for me so far, it would be in Dragonflight, when somehow I became interested in like, hey, I'm going to go, which I wasn't great at anyway, which was, I'm going to go do an arena, and I'm going to do it as a healer, which I've never healed. And I want to get 1800 rating, which I've never achieved. And I'm going to go do that thing. And I did it. And I did it on a holy priest, and it was so much fun. And the moment I hit 1800, I never got on that priest again, except to transfer gold.
That's great.
And that was it.
There you go.
That's the beauty of Warcraft, though.
Yeah.
Is because there are so many things out there that you could choose to shoot after. There's just an endless list. And you pick that one thing and you just go for it. And when you finally get it through steps and steps and steps and watching videos and researching stuff, you finally end up getting it. It's like these little hits of dopamine every single time.
Yeah.
And they just keep coming. There's so many things to do.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Very true.
What is the best profession in the game?
Fishing.
Ooh. Yeah. That one.
That one.
Yep. That's
Fishing.
a safe choice. Yep.
It is the hands down the most enjoyable for me.
Yeah.
There's other ones out there that are way easier to level, especially as you're leveling a character. But for me, hands down, fishing is the most enjoyable.
And you wanted to add all that
Agreed.
complicated stuff to it. Come on.
Still do. Oh, man.
Absolutely. I'll be in that alpha test. Sign me up.
All right, you both have cats, but Kash, you have the hairless, naked cats that have the most serious faces I have ever seen. The question is, do your cats have any sense of humor whatsoever?
Yes, my cats are amazing. And it's a very common thing that naked cats, I have 4 of them. It's a very common thing with people when they see your cats, they're like, your cat is super depressed. And I'm like, no, my cat is living his best life. Trust me. They have amazing personalities, amazing personalities. Like they want, I don't know if you saw, I was telling Jibbs just a little while ago that I had to mute because my one cat, Leroy, was scratching on my door and I didn't want it to come out there in the recording. So I muted up and went to go get him. And he just wanted on my lap under a blanket. That's it. It's not even that cold out. He just wants to be with you. And they're all like that. Yeah. So when they hear my voice and they know that I'm in here recording, that's when they do it. They'll start scratching on the door or caterwauling around the house and I'll have to go grab and put them on my lap. So there's plenty of times when I'll have literally be playing the game and have 4 naked cats on my lap under a blanket. But they're fantastic animals. They really are.
4 naked cats under a blanket is a sound clip that someone's going to make from this.
Sounds like the start of a joke. There's 4 naked cats under a blanket.
I'm a cat dad. I'm a shameless cat dad.
There you go.
That's right.
All right. The final 2 questions get back to partner things. You have been invited over to each other's house for dinner. What is your podcast partner making for you?
Oh my gosh. All right. So I'm going to make something for him. If you knew his diet, then you would know like that this is like such a difficult thing for me to, but you know what? I'm just going to do this. We're going to do steak. He's going to have 2 eggs. And he's feeling a little frisky tonight, so he's going to put 2 slabs of bacon because currently he's doing the meat diet.
Nailed it.
There we go.
All right, there we go.
Buddy, you nailed it. Although I'm not on carnivore anymore. I'm kind of back to eating regular food, but I still eat a crap ton of meat. So there's that. I'll never turn down that meal.
No, that's a winner. I'm coming over, actually.
I love it.
Am I going for him?
Go for it.
Oh, this is going to be good. Okay. Let's see here. We're going to do roasted broccoli.
Oh, I can't
roast. No, the way I cook it, buddy, you'll be good to go. Don't worry.
Oh,
and I grew it right behind my house on my plot.
It's California
right
and nature.
Plot 21. No, in game.
Thank you. There we go.
We're going to feed him. Let's see. We're going to feed him some slow cooked brisket.
Okay.
Smoked.
You're redeeming yourself.
Okay. And then for dessert, you're going to get some graham cracker sticks. Let me get those.
Is this because I had them earlier when I was talking to you?
Because you have a box of them on your desk. And then we're going to feed you 4 bourbon barrel stouts, and that will put you to bed.
It's a whole package.
Yeah, there's a story to that.
You know this how? Have you ever seen anybody light a cigar off of his last cigar?
Ooh, wow.
And literally, like, I'm a beer snob, and he comes out to visit me, and I'm feeding him like
you do
this top level, like world class bourbon barrel stout, and I'm sipping because I know what these things do, and he's just like, bam. Well, that's pretty good. Give me another one. I'm like, bro, you gotta slow down because that won't catch up with you. And it caught up with him.
I'll never forget your face. It was an 18.6% alcohol beer.
Gosh.
And I downed it, and you had it, and you were sipping, and you go, oh, you're done. You're done. You're done. You're out.
Short night.
We're sitting out in the backyard. Enjoying a sunset, and he's just like spinning, and he's like, I think I'm going to take a shower and go to bed. I was like, okay, dude, there's a puke bucket on the side of the bed for you.
It was awesome. I wouldn't do that again, but it was awesome. It was a fun time.
And there is the proof that you guys are actually friends. Having the puke bucket ready. That's a good host.
Oh yeah.
Final lightning round question. The unthinkable has happened, and you guys have a podcast divorce. Who gets the goblin sound engineers?
Kash gets everything. Oh. It's in the prenup. He gets it all.
Were you aware of that, Kash?
Yeah, unfortunately, it's written into the MOU, the union MOU that I get custody of the goblins, which will be hilarious because that's pretty much my personality anyway. Except for the New York accent, it's pretty much my personality.
Will they get along with the naked cats? That's the question.
Yeah, I think my cats would win. My cats can be fierce.
There we go.
So,
well, gentlemen, thank you for hanging out here with me in the solo queue. It has been awesome to have you. A pleasure to have you guys on. Congratulations on your 10th episode of Azeroth Morning Radio. And did I hear correctly that you already are formulating plans for a 1-year anniversary thing?
So there is a thing that I'm sure we'll be doing something, but there is a project that we're actively working on behind the scenes every episode that eventually will culminate into something big for the community itself. And it will happen particularly around the 1-year mark. Exactly. So more details on that later.
Yeah.
But it's enjoyable. So looking forward to that.
Yeah, that was quite a drop.
You heard it here.
All right.
Hey, also, we just want to say on behalf of both myself and Jibbs, that thank you, just a huge, warm, open-hearted thank you for having us on. And I think it's very easy to say between all of us that this is going to strike up a friendship.
Yeah.
This has been really cool. You're just a really good guy. We really enjoy listening to your show. We want to thank our buddy, our Death, because he turned us on to your show, and we're like, no, this is fun. This is a great show. And we love the player that you're talking to in your show. It's just fantastic. The way you're doing things is really good. So thank you.
Awesome. Much appreciated. Yeah. Well, despite all the fun, it does look like our time in the queue is up for today. Huge thanks to my new friends, Jibbs and Kash, for coming on the show. I'm already trying to find a way to cancel my BlizzCon hotel so I can crash on Kash's couch. Time for some more thank yous. All the music and the sound that you hear in the solo queue is, of course, the work of the amazing people at Blizzard. Hashtag don't play muted. Come on. The music bookending the show is by my friends in the doom metal band Ogre. It has not popped up above the freezing mark here in Maine lately, so I'm going to tell you, go listen to Age of Ice by Ogre. I want to thank everyone who made this episode possible. Jibbs and Kash, my lovely and supportive wife, the good folks at Podbean who host Solo Queue, and of course, the contributing Patreon supporters, the Solo Crew. Andrew, Righteous Bandy, That Sky Guy, great to catch up randomly on Thanksgiving Day. Sin, Snick of Voldoon, John, Scott, Jeru, Raven, Graybeard, Supercase the Remix Carrier. And there are 2 new contributing members. Thank you to Pasta Matt and to Marcus. Welcome to the Solo Crew and thank you. They support the show at patreon.com/soloq. Wow. Subscribe to the podcast at your podcast feed of choice, Apple, Spotify, and all the rest. Or you can watch a very static image on YouTube while you listen and get other things done. Why not? As always, spread the word of Solo Queue. Ratings, reviews, especially on Apple and Spotify, they do help the show grow. Where can people find you and what you're doing online?
I don't do much stuff solo, but if you're on Twitter, you can find me at Kash Quests, and the Kash is with a K. You can email us on the show at azerothmorningradio@gmail.com. You can go to azerothmorningradio.com, and we have a website platform there that has all of our stuff, all of our weekly shows. You can find it all there.
Like everything he just said, except for me, it's on Twitter. I'm at Jibbs IRL, and that's it.
Excellent. Congratulations on 10 episodes of Azeroth Morning Radio. And thanks again for coming on. And of course, you can contact me at soloqueuewow@gmail.com. Blue Sky, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Threads. Lots of comments and emails lately, and that is great. Keep them coming. Happy early days of Wintervale. Merry Christmas, if that is a holiday for you. I have a feeling the final episode of the year is going to come after Santa stops by, so best wishes to all. We can talk about all of your new presents the next time we hop into the Solo Queue. We'll see you out there.
We don't have any friends, man.
We don't have any friends.
We don't have any friends.
No friends.